Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your SheShed scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout for the ScrapRoom design team, and I am using the Lovely Lane collection from Paige Evans or Pinkfresh Studio from the October Flavors of the Month kit. So I saw this wreath and absolutely fell in love with it. So I decided to fussy cut the middle out. I started using the X-Acto knife, but I am not good with that. Maybe it is not the best one. So maybe I just have to invest in a new one. But I ended up using my scissors and cut the inside out. I wanted to make sure that I kind of left the very middle intact in case I wanted to use like a square of it or whatnot, because the back is a really pretty color. I am going to use the white cardstock that came in the Flavors of the Month kit for my background, so to speak, and I am going to then pop up the wreath on some foam tape. I wanted this layout to have some dimension because I wanted to kind of place my photo in the inside, maybe underneath of the wreath. And by popping it up on foam tape, it allowed me to do so. When I saw the collection, I wasn't quite sure what I would use to document, but then I was going through photos and found this photo of my boys in front of a floral arch. And the colors of their shirts and the flowers and the background just worked so well with this collection. So I was so excited to be able to find a photo of my boys to use. So I did matte the photo. I trimmed it down a little bit. I'm not sure if it's an exact square, I guess. I don't know if it's 4x4, but I did trim it down quite a bit. I was going through the 6x8 papers that came with the Shots of Life kit to see if I could map my photo on one of those, but just didn't love the options, I guess. Instead, I really did like this color. It goes with the leaves of the wreath so well. So I did cut into a 12x12 piece of paper, which is not something I love doing to mat a photo, but it is what it is, and that's what worked best. I am going to bring in a title from my stash, so that Gold Love is from my stash. That is not part of the kit, but everything else I use is part of the kit. The sticker sheet here was part of, I believe, the embellishment kit for the add-on for this month, and there were a couple of good stickers that I thought I could use. One says just us right now, and then the other perfectly imperfect. And that's true. None of us are perfect by any means. My kids definitely aren't, but they are perfect just the way they are. So I really did like that saying. In the Shots of Life kit, along with the 6x8 papers, I also got some of the chipboard pieces from the collection, and a couple of them were hexagons, and I knew that if I just left the photo in the middle, it would be too much white space for me. So I really was going to try and play around with what I had to kind of fill in that space and then add an embellishment cluster somewhere else as well. So for the most part, that hexagon with that large floral cluster will stay there. I am going to commit to that, and then actually commit to placing my wreath down. I forgot that I hadn't done that yet. So I kind of just lined it up on the bottom and then struggled a little bit. It stuck down before I was ready. So did have to peel that up a little bit. Luckily, there was no damage. And it was good to go. But once that is done, you can just see the dimension. So some of those leaves kind of curl up and you can see the shadows of them. And I just really like how it is layered. I think it just adds to the layout. I easily could have left the middle intact, but I like having those embellishments in the middle with a bright white background. So I kind of stuck with the same color scheme when I chose my embellishments. So I did add these two flowers, floral clusters, with the title there. And then I know that I am going to kind of add some more around. I forgot, because it was over top of the chipboard, I did have to add a few small foam dots to make sure that that stayed level. And now I'm just going to work on the small kind of phrase cluster that I'm going to place on kind of the bottom left there, those stickers. I did pop that first one up on foam tape so that I could easily kind of stick that, I don't know what those are called, flags, pennants, I'm not sure, but stick that underneath. And I just like how that kind of brings the layout almost more out towards the outside edge a little bit more as well. Then I decided, why not use up the hexagons? I love them, love the colors, and so I placed the other two up again to kind of elongate the layout there. Now, really, it's just this bottom right cluster. I have this heart that is patterned, but I thought this would be a perfect spot to journal. It is subtle enough that I think with a good pen, I can journal there. Not much to journal, so we'll see if I do. I know that I've already added the date, at least, around the curve of one of the top pieces of the heart. So otherwise, maybe we'll just leave it as is. This was my birthday lunch this year. We had to postpone it a day because my son had a birthday party to go to, and I wanted him to be able to enjoy that. So day after my birthday, but it was my birthday lunch. So not a lot to journal about, but I have an option if I want to. So here's where I place the date. So around the curve there. And then once I added that floral cluster kind of behind that heart, it's really going to finish off this layout. So I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. Definitely check out the ScrapRoom's Flavors of the Month kits and the add-on kits. I am loving the lineup this month. And I've loved the lineup every month since I joined. So definitely check them out. Hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.